Films Last Crew review Green Book.
The Book of Green.
Hey, Team Angus Draken here, and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hey.
And the man formerly known as Bro Diddly Doo Broadman Richards. This week, he
Still
is
Brody,
known
I don't care.
as
Still Brody.
Still Brody.
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck.
Nice.
All right, so I'm here with Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs and Scrooge McDuck, and this week we reviewed Green Book, starring
Viggo Mortensen
and
Mahershala Ali.
that's the one.
Rolls off the tongue.
Kane Dogs, you want to hit us up with that IMDb summary?
A working-class Italian-American bouncer becomes the driver of an African-American classical pianist on the tour of venues through the 1960s American South.
Pianist.
Yeah.
Not a pianist?
No.
No, cool.
No, piano.
Excellent.
I will read these things phonetically, Angus.
Roger that. Okay, sweet. Yeah, starring Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali, Linda Cardellini,
Yep.
and that's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So basically, Aragon and his wife Velma.
That's where I knew it from. I
Yeah.
feel like
That's all I
I've
wanted
had
to
that.
say.
You've already had that realization like a little less than 3 months ago
Yeah.
in something else that she was in.
Yes, so Aragon needs to protect. Apparently, he's in Luke Cage.
Yeah. He's
Viggo
True
Mortensen
Detective. He's in True Detective.
he's in True Detective season 3.
Oh, his Uncle Aaron
Is he
in.
going to be in season 3?
He's like the main dude in season 3.
Is Viggo Mortensen the
No,
main guy?
Mahershala.
He is Uncle Aaron in Spider-Man. Spider-Man,
he's the
Spider-Verse.
bad guy
Yeah.
in Luke
He's been in a
Cage.
bunch of stuff. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
The
there you
bad-
go.
He's one of the villains in Luke Cage.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Aragon has to
Cottonmouth?
protect him.
Yeah, Cottonmouth.
Protect Cottonmouth. There you go. We got there. Cool. When did you see the movie? And what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit. I'll start it off.
Thanks for being.
I saw it earlier today down at bloody Woolworld, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good comedy, good drama, and it was just all around good. One of the best Christmas films I've seen all year.
Very good.
Over to you, Kane Dogs.
Kane Dogs, when did you see the movie? What did you think?
I saw it weirdly today at Woolworld as well at 3:30. So
Yeah, I saw it at
must
3:30.
have- We must have been at the same cinema and just not.
They might have played it in separate cinemas though.
No,
I was in
double
cinema 1. You in cinema 1?
I was in Cinema 1.
Oh.
I was in Uno, so
You were in Inno? Oh,
Yeah.
did you also go see the Woolworld?
yeah. I went today. I went with two of my mates.
What session?
Had good fun.
What?
The 3:30 one. Yeah,
3:30.
but I don't think I was in your cinema because I.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was in between two bearded pricks. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I must have just missed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I also thought this movie was pretty good. I had a lot of good laughs, had some really good drama, and a lot of good.
Laughs?
I've lost the
A lot of good
word.
laughs.
Hold on.
Just good drama as well. A lot of good laughs. Some good drama. Some good laughs.
The problem that we're seeing is that Jordan likes to go see movies and then go home
Here's
and
the
have
thing.
a good
it's
think
actually
about
true
it.
though. This
Whereas
is the first time.
We all went to the cinema together and we've rushed back home, set up the podcasting studio, and am now recording.
But this is the thing.
So
I know you've been writing things down while me and Angus have been talking to each other like friends. But
I've been setting up. You've been talking at me.
thing is I do like to give myself time to think about what I'm going to say because nothing happens in this brain after I've seen a movie because quite often I disagree with myself down the track. I walk out of most movies being like, that's pretty good. And then
Well-
like a day later I'm like, there's a lot of plot holes in this. But you guys see him the morning before we do the podcast all the time. I
Yep.
think there's maybe only been one other circumstance where I've seen the movie and reviewed it on the same day.
How'd that one go?
Poorly.
Cool, we're in for a good
No,
one.
what I was trying to say is this movie has a lot of good messages to pass across that I think picks some good moments as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well put together.
So this movie is based on a true story, which I only found out as soon as I got in there, and I think someone said it. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know a lot about this movie.
No, I knew.
As you may have heard in the last podcast,
The end of the previous podcast.
Brody said that it was about the writer of Lord of the Rings, or like the cartoonist of
The
Lord of the
illustrator.
Rings, the illustrator of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, awesome.
I would have loved to have watched that movie as well.
Update on that. I'm pretty sure they are making a film on J.R.R. Tolkien and his life whilst writing Lord of the Rings. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that
That would
film.
be an exciting film. It's just a
That'd
guy
be great.
writing a book.
I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that. For sure. Love a good documentary. What did I think of this film, you ask? Well, I also enjoyed it.
When did you see it?
When did I see it?
Yeah, when did you see it?
I was
And
right
what did you
next
think?
to you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of kind of a lot more gags than I thought there would be, especially kind of coming from Viggo's character. It does revolve around their friendship, but it also very much follows Viggo's character, I think. I don't think it's as much of a partnership as...
I would say Viggo Mortensen's character certainly has more growth as well.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
from start to
definitely.
finish.
Yeah, nothing unexpected out of this. I think it was
No?
pretty by the green book.
I think if you watch the trailer for this, which I did, I think this movie is exactly what you'll expect it to be. It is coming up to Oscar time. This movie has been nominated. This is an Oscar bait movie. And it's a good one.
I wouldn't say this is Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this film is very well crafted and it isn't super depressing like most Oscar bait films are.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
not
why this is a good one.
it's not some actor going through some massive transformation
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like to get an Oscar. This felt like a very well crafted movie and it was quite heartwarming as well, which most Oscar bait films are not.
No.
They are very, very depressing.
Yeah,
So I
agreed.
wouldn't call this Oscar bait. I would call this Oscar worthy.
Okay. Well, this is exactly the type of film you would expect it to be from the trailer. I think, as we touched upon, I think maybe a bit more comedy in it than you'd expect. But I also wouldn't classify this movie as a comedy, so I don't want to be misconstrued. I don't think the main
Comedy
thing
drama.
The
It's a
main
funny
thing,
drama, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to walk out being like, that was the funniest film I've seen this year. It certainly won't be. But
Yeah.
it does have some uplifting moments.
Definitely. And acting chops in this were pretty
Top notch.
phenomenal.
Man, honestly, Viggo Mortensen, and I did not recognize that it was Viggo Mortensen
Yeah.
in all of the trailers because I'm used to him as Aragorn, and that's not just because of the long hair, but obviously his build. He's put on quite a lot of weight to play this role in terms of how he usually looks. He's usually quite a thin bloke, so
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I did go into this film going, I'm probably just going to see Aragorn, like, because I
The whole
love the Lord of the
time?
Rings movies. Like, I watch them
No, he's
so often.
a good
and
actor. He can.
He did
bloody
really
chameleon.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to get more credit. Everyone get on the Viggo train. Cool. Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram and Twitter what movie we're reviewing and ask our Slicey Slicers
Yep.
what we're reviewing and if they've seen it, what they thought. So I got no one.
No one.
no one.
Wow.
No one replied, but
That
did you
interferes with
expect
my
that?
guess of two?
Well, it's good to know that there's a long line of people ready to listen to this review of it then.
I didn't expect many people to see this one. It's not the it's not the blockbuster. It's not the comedy.
I wouldn't have gone out to see this unless we did what we did, which was actually look for a film to review.
Yeah.
So-
it was a bit of a shame actually because it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, well, if people listen to this, this is us telling you to go see it. It's
Definitely go
still
see
in
it.
cinemas.
For sure. Cool. Moving on. Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to? Broadman. No. What's his fucking name?
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck. We'll start with you.
I would recommend this one to anyone who appreciates anything other than your basic action film.
Yeah, basic.
Your basic action
Yeah,
film.
basic.
Yeah, I think because I think this is a very likable film. Doesn't have some sort of required audience of like, oh, you have to be this to enjoy this one, you have to be this to enjoy this one. I just think if you're the type of person that goes action film to action film, or Marvel film to Marvel film, and you're not interested in anything else, you're not going to like this film.
Yeah.
But if you have any other sort of interest in drama or inside of kind of a different tier of filmmaking, then you'll enjoy this one.
Agreed. Yeah, I would definitely say kind of young adult and older. I think
Yeah.
it's a
Don't take
movie
your
for a
kids.
mature,
Not a kids film.
movie for a more mature audience, but yeah, anyone that I can see, like when I went to uni and studied cinema and everything, I could definitely like dissect this movie in class. Like it's one of those movies that
Yeah.
there's a lot to it, and if you enjoy dissecting a movie and looking into it and exploring the themes and everything and having that kind of conversation started, then yeah, for sure. Cane Dogs, anything to add?
Yeah, I was going to say the first thing I thought of when I sort of started thinking about the podcast is I'm going to tell my parents to watch this one.
Yeah.
I think this is a great film for as we said, anyone that's sort of maybe 17 and over. There's something in it to appreciate as long as you can appreciate a good character piece. And I think every time we used to have a segment that's would we recommend it to my parents, and
The return of a long lost segment.
I'd recommend this to my parents.
Yeah. There you go.
And to your parents if you're listening. I don't know who you are, but tell your parents.
Should we jump into the old Spoilerino segment?
Yeah, I think we've said everything that we need to say in the non-spoilers.
I've said everything I have to say in general. I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye forever.
See you
Jordan's
later.
done.
Not just for this movie either. This is my
For
retirement.
life.
This is it.
For life. I'm taking a vow of silence.
A vowel of
He's
silence.
taking a vow of silence.
A-E-I-O or U.
I'm taking you, Angus.
Okay.
Sometimes
Wait,
I'm
why?
taking you with me. I'm
Oh
taking
my
you with me in my...
Play the spoilers theme.
Spoiler-oo, the Vader is dead. Boom. Spoilers. Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
Alright, we are in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. Good luck
You've been
on the
warned.
rest of your journey.
Shane warned.
We know you're listening.
Classic.
Anyone got a cinema dick?
Cinema
Yep.
Dick?
And he knows I do.
I was hoping he would forget.
No.
Oh, really?
But before you go, can I go?
Depends if this is in defense.
It was me. I was a cinema dick. I did it all. My bad.
Some bearded wanker left his phone on loud and it went off
Really?
during the film.
I
To
did
be
not
fair,
know.
it was just a little. Ding.
It was enough.
Oh. It was. Wow.
It was enough.
It was enough
What
for
made
me
it-
to
what-
look down, quickly turn off my phone, look over to Jordan, and Jordan's like, I fucking got him.
I've never been so proud. He looked at me and I was like, he knows I've
Yeah.
fucking he knows it.
Wow.
He knows I've got him.
It's like I was the deer in front of the headlights, just
Except
waiting
in this
for him to
circumstance-
run me over.
Except I was waiting to hit a deer in this circumstance. Because I knew,
Jordan was looking for
Looking
deers.
for a deer.
I knew one of us three was gonna find something to nitpick, and I knew it would be me unless one of you slipped up. And you bloody did.
Wow.
Yeah.
You prick.
Nice.
Oh, I mean, you did.
Wow. Ooh, bit harsh. Bit harsh. I've got one. I got a cinema dick.
All right, Broadman, go for it.
Sure thing. So I went into the cinema with a mate and his mate, and got into the
One of us has been excluded in this.
got into the cinema, got to my seat. Then Jordan sat one seat away, which is his choice. And he knows
Hold
that
on.
I've said before.
Thank you.
But-
Hold on, wait, you need
but-
to elaborate on that.
But when Angus sat in between us, Jordan gave him shit, and he moved away out of obligation. So yeah, bit of a dick.
Now, every time we've seen a movie, you have decided to give
Hey, if
yourself...
Angus wants to sit next to me, if Angus wants to sit in between us, that's his choice. That's his fine. But you don't give a man shit for where he sits.
Oh, I don't feel so bad now.
Angus, I would have loved it if you sat next to me. And I'm sorry that Jordan was attached to you, and he forced you to move.
Oh, there you go. Any other cinema
You
dicks?
traitor! I'm picking Brody. There were some old people behind us. I had a bit of a chat. But
Yeah, a
good
couple
on
of
them.
people. Oh, it's gonna be the stone.
Yeah, oh, it's The Rock.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah,
Yep, it's in his hand.
Yeah.
He's got it in his hand.
yep.
It's
He's holding
definitely
it.
The Rock.
So there's a part
could
of
have
this
thought it,
movie-
But there was about 5 people that said it. There was
Yeah.
people behind us and people in front of us going,
Yeah.
oh, it's The Rock.
Other than us, it was like maybe 15 to 20
So do you wanna just
elderly
elaborate on-
couples.
50-year-olds, yeah.
on what you're talking about. So there's a part in the movie where Viggo Mortensen steals a rock and he gets told to put it back.
Hashtag totally doesn't steal a rock. Finds a rock on the ground.
Finds it on the ground.
Anyway, you kind of get the sense that maybe he still took the rock, and then later you find out that he has the rock. And when you find out that he has the rock, not live Dwayne Johnson the Rock, but a small pebble, there's a bunch of people that's like, oh, he's got the rock. We knew he had the rock. It's not a. It's fine.
Yeah, could have just said it in your head.
Yeah.
Could have not said it and just been
It
like,
would
"Oh."
have been incredible if he pulled out Dwayne the Rock Johnson just last minute as a cameo.
Hey! I don't know what Rock
No, you've
Rock
nailed.
said.
You've nailed
the best rock
you know,
impression that anyone has ever
No,
done.
no, his famous catchphrase. Hey! His famous catchphrase that he does in every film.
Amazing.
Okay, most positive thing about the film.
Positive.
Would you like me to go first?
Absolutely.
You can go first
I
if you
would.
like.
Super. I actually did some writing down in the cinema while the credits were rolling. So
Nice.
I've got great acting. I already said that.
I'd love if that's all you wrote.
Very
I
much
did some
agree.
writing, I wrote great acting.
No, I think my biggest positive was seeing Viggo Mortensen and seeing him with a bit of weight on him. That he's like, obviously, like, I don't know if he's just let himself go, but I have a feeling that he did it for the film.
role, yeah.
And I really like that because there's a lot of true stories out there, and I keep bringing it back to it, but is it Deepwater Horizon or Blue Water Horizon or the one with Mark Wahlberg?
Deepwater Horizon is the one on the oil rig.
Oil rig, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mark Wahlberg's playing this character, and it's a real life event, and then at the very end you see the actual person and looks nothing like it. Like,
Okay.
he's like really tall, a bit tubby, like got a handlebar mustache and everything. Nothing like Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed that Viggo Mortensen put the effort into being like, yeah, I'm a like
He wants to be a
his
real person.
character. Yeah, like his character eats a lot in the film, and it's like that's what that
Either that
person
or
would be
Viggo
able to do.
Mortensen has really let himself go, and that's what made him perfect for the
Well,
role.
potentially.
I would assume the other way around.
Yeah.
But we can't rule it out.
That's it. Yeah, so that's what I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Viggo Mortensen's absolute... What's the word?
Deep
Commitment.
Passion for acting,
Commitment?
really. Like, commitment. Yeah, commitment to the role.
To the role.
Yes, I really enjoyed Viggo Mortensen's commitment to the role, and I think the humor really works. Sometimes, like with the humor,
It's
being
hit
put
and miss.
into dramas, it's kind of a shoehorn in. Like, oh, it's getting a bit dark. Like, we need to kind of fit it in. But it felt like even like the humor was, you know, kind of written with the story
Felt
instead
natural.
of yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
with the humor that's in this film, because there's a few different ways you can put humor into a film, and the way this film did it is my favorite scenario, which is instead of writing jokes that happen to the characters, so like someone slips over on something, or someone, or you can do like stress humor where bad things keep happening to someone, but it's just kind of funny to watch that. The jokes that are in this are jokes that characters are saying to each other that they would actually tell.
Yeah.
So the jokes aren't jokes meant for the audience. They're from one character to another, and it's for the audience to witness.
Yeah.
And I think that's comedy that works the best in films like this, because it doesn't draw you out of...
And some of them
the
aren't even
story.
jokes per se. They're like just character
quirks about
character
the
quirks.
character,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like keep your eyes on the road. It's
Yeah,
like someone
yeah,
just
yeah.
constantly keep your eyes on the road. It's like things like that where it's like they're not delivering a joke, but it's funny to the audience.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way. It sort of leads into my positive, which is the way they built the rapport between our two main characters was fantastic. Because quite often when you have a movie like this, where two people start out butting heads, but by the end they're going to be friends, all of that happens over one scene. And it always feels really forced. It's like, you guys hated each other, but now you went through... It's usually like you go through a traumatic experience together, or you go through an emotional experience together. But in movies, they usually rush that over one event. I really liked that in this, you saw them slowly learn about each other and come to appreciate each other's sort of values and flaws over various different encounters over a long period of time, different conversations, slowly getting to know each other and slowly understanding why each person is how they are and what they stand for. And that's really rare in films like this, that I feel like, not just buddy cop films, but any film that tries to build a rapport between two people that originally don't like each other always feels rushed to me, because I go into the film being like, all right, at the end they're going to be best friends.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that? Because at the moment they hate everything about each other, or they don't get along. How is it? And it's always really disappointing, because it's always
Yeah.
like, well, my brother died in a car accident. The other person always just like, mine too. My brother, there was the same car.
Yeah.
Did yours have a number? Mine had a number plate.
Was his name Martha?
Yeah, it's always stuff like that, where there's
Yeah.
one pivotal conversation, or like they're locked in prison together for a night and they have
Yeah.
to sort out the differences. In this, it's not that they have differences to sort out, they just slowly learn to appreciate each other on
Yeah.
the road, which is more realistic, and I think that was done expertly.
Yeah.
There's not a single part of me that feels like I didn't believe the friendship at the end.
Yeah.
Felt real.
And it's like you said, like they had the time to actually
Yeah,
do that.
they
And I think that's a
fleshed it out.
testament to how quick they get into the main story.
The plot,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys
The
noticed
pacing
it,
was
but-
really
I
nice
thought
in
the
this
pacing
film.
was going to be really
Yeah.
bad as well. 'cause
Yeah,
at
the
big-
pacing in the trailers was a bit off,
At-
and it looked like, ooh, this could be a drag. But
Yeah.
pacing through the film, really, really top notch. Okay, so my favorite part, I loved it where there was a moment in towards the end of the film where there was a montage of applause from different cities, and then it cut to the rain falling on the
Yes,
car,
I
and I
love that.
loved that moment in the film. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. It made me smile and kind of like nod in appreciation
Yeah.
of like good editing.
Yeah.
I really, really liked that moment.
I absolutely love that when that happened. Oh,
I
so good.
also really liked the CG on Mahershala playing the piano. I thought it was really well done. He was in so many scenes of him playing the piano, it was like his face, his head,
Yeah.
but it wasn't his body.
Yeah.
And the CG was very, very good.
I thought
It
that
was
would
like
be in your negatives because I noticed it.
I noticed it, but I was like, if I wasn't looking for it, because anytime you see a musician in a film, I always look to see if they're playing the instrument.
Yeah.
It's just like a little. It's just
Yeah,
one of those
I
things
do
I
that.
can't get out of my head. I always have to look, and because I was looking for it, I could tell. But if I wasn't looking for it, if I wasn't in the know of like, I have,
There's definitely people
Actors
that
can't play
went,
music.
that actor really learned piano to play this.
yeah,
to do this
because
character.
the CG was really, really good. It was
Real
like
subtle.
Yeah. It was-
You know-
and so yeah, really enjoyed those two things. Such a heartwarming story in such a gut-wrenching setting.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really pleasant, and because we don't experience many films like that. Most films, if it's in like most films like this, wouldn't have had a happy ending.
yeah.
They
yeah.
would have just kind of gone downhill, and it would have been like a bit blah. Especially because it's based on based on a true story.
Set in a
Most-
time that they can't rewrite.
Most stories based on true story, I'd really kind of like have nothing endings where it's just like, okay, yeah, he like ended up living in a different house.
Yeah.
What's happening? Okay.
He ended up living in a different house.
Yeah, that's pretty much every like true story. It's just like, oh, they
great.
live somewhere else now, and they're having a bit of a shittier
And
time.
they died this year or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it was really nice to have such a heartwarming story in such a gut wrenching setting. I thought that was
Definitely.
really, really great.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. All right, let's head on into negatives. The worst bits of the film. Honestly, I couldn't find many, if any.
I can start us off if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, my least favorite part, glasses shit. No, I'm not gonna go.
That'd be great.
I would
really
have.
was?
I would have liked to see Dr. Shirley sit down with everyone at the end. Just because it kind of just ended when he was like in the entrance to the home, like hugging
Yeah.
the wife.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been nice to see him sit down and be fully accepted into the household. But who knows? They might have had that and they might have cut it for some reason.
It could have been cut time-wise.
Yeah, but I think that would have been that would have been too much of a happy ending.
Yeah.
To see him like sit down and have dinner with everyone. But yeah, that was like the only thing that I was like walking out of the film that was like, I wish they had done this or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My only negatives is like it would have been interesting. Like obviously, there's a lot of racism, and racism is like a key theme in this film. It would have been interesting to see racism towards Vigo as well, because obviously, like the Italians are very kind of
There was a little bit in there,
segregated.
but there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, there was a little bit, and like there's hint of like the Irish as well, and all that kind of stuff, and like there's obviously this kind of segregation, and they do lean very heavily on the black community, whereas it would have been nice to also see like, you know, racism's effect on the Italians and, you know, the Irish and all that kind of stuff as well. But like, obviously you don't want to convolute the story too much as well, so that's like really minor critique. The only other thing that I really thought of is there wasn't as much music as I thought there possibly could be. I think at the start when Vigo's character is kind of telling the doctor like, oh, don't you know who this band is and this music and that kind of stuff, like I really liked towards the end when they did kind of, you know, the doctor kind of let loose and started playing like kind of a ragtag like song with the band in the pub, and I would have liked to hear a bit more of it. I think a bit more music.
They could have gone that. It was one of those few like without fault happy moments. They probably could have played it on a bit longer.
Yeah, but like everything is
That scene where
very
he walks out
minor
and fires the
negatives.
gun into the
Like,
air.
That was
There's
really
two
great.
people like waiting for it. And
I knew I knew
you had a gun.
gun.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great scene.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, but like they're
Tough to find
very,
yeah.
very harsh critiques of a very
Yeah.
well done movie.
Yeah. and you don't even like, they're the kind of things where you don't even know if it would have made a better film.
Yeah.
It's just like could have been interested.
Could've-
Same thing with like I
Yeah.
thought of the ending. What about you, JK?
So my biggest negative is in the trailer. It's nothing to do with the film. Film is great. My biggest negative is that in the trailer, one of the scenes in the trailer, which I saw the trailer quite a bit. And is it Mahershala?
Yeah, Mahershala.
Mahershala?
Yeah.
Mahershala's breakdown in the rain is in the trailer. And his
Yeah,
his main outburst of sort of how he feels a bit segregated from every culture, because he's trying to break away from his culture to sort of make a point and sort of bring his culture with him, and as a result he's segregated himself from everybody. That's all summed up from his perspective in sort of one line in one argument, and that line and that argument in the rain is in the trailer. And so I spent this whole film
Waiting for
Expecting
that.
knowing what the turn was going to be.
Here it
and then I
goes.
was looking forward for the proper argument between them, which I think is maybe my next negative. Is that I would have liked there to be some pushback towards the Doctor a bit more. I think both characters are sort of bouncing off each other for a while building up to this, and each of them are trying to look after each other in their own way. But I still think Viggo Mortensen's character, can't remember what his name
Tony.
is. Tony, yeah. Of course it's Tony. Tony could have...
Tony Lip.
They could have yelled a few things back. I think there was absolutely precedent for him to stand up for himself and to yell about how he feels as well for everything, because he's sort of treated as a second class person compared to all of the people that are sort of educated and all the places that he gets taken, where he clearly feels like he's being treated as if he's dumber than everybody else.
Yeah.
And he absolutely could have had something like that to say.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm actually going to go back on what I said earlier, now that I'm thinking
Now
about
you
it.
think about it?
Yeah, like I said, it would have been good to see, racism in other traits. And I thought about it when I was thinking about the scene where you kind of find out he's homosexual. And at first I was like, yeah, I would have liked to see a bit more about the homosexual, but I think
The
the
movie could be
homosexuality...
really convoluted if you chuck a
yeah,
lot
I
of it in
think
there.
yeah, exactly. Like I feel like they did a good job of being like, no, this is the point of the film. This is what we're exploring, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if they did add things like
It could have just been a bit messy.
the Italians and everything, it could have been a bit messy. And if they did add more about the homosexuality, it would have made it messier and
It
stuff.
also
And I
would
really
have
like how
taken away from
kinda
time
small
for
and-
them to get to know each other, which is
Yeah.
one of the things I liked,
Yeah.
obviously.
Like
So,
I do actually enjoy how kind of small and succinct this story is, and I actually really enjoyed when Viggo Mortensen was kind of like, yeah, you gay, whatever, kind of like that's.
I like
not
his
used,
character.
and
His
they
character
didn't-
just doesn't care, which
they
is
didn't
great.
dwell on it. Yeah, yeah, it was good. Kind of kept going towards this point, like no convolution whatsoever, which was really good. Sweet. So in that case, I have no negatives, and
Yep. No negatives from me.
And I didn't like the trailer.
And John didn't like each other.
cool,
Yeah.
excellent.
I think that's a testament to how good this film was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
definitely.
Yeah.
K-Dogs, did you have an idea on how we could close the podcast this episode? Is doing nothing. Cool. Broadman, any ideas?
Cod Pursuit is next.
Just go for a drive.
Go for a drive?
Yeah.
Sure. Is that like linked into the... Oh, yeah, because they drive.
Yeah,
in
they
the film.
drive literally
A
the
lot.
entire film.
Sorry, I was thinking of book puns and we're just on a different level. Thanks for listening to that episode, guys. Next week, we are going to be reviewing
Liam Neeson is Liam Neeson in some snow. Cold Pursuit.
Cold Pursuit. We're going to be reviewing Cold Pursuit, so make sure you get onto that one, guys. If you've seen it, let us know what you think on all of the social medias. Till then, stay
Doesn't look good,
slicey.
Don't slice yourself. Just to be
Till
clear.
then,
Don't slice yourself.
Stay slicey, San Diego.